Hi, this is Erica Grotto here at HFMA's annual conference in Nashville. I'm so excited today to be joined by Amy Raymond from AKASA and Heather Schneider from Penn Highlands Healthcare. Hi.
Hi.
Heather, how are you enjoying the conference so far?
I'm absolutely enjoying it. It's so nice to meet some of these vendors that I've only talked to on the phone, and not so much my partners like AKASA that I work with all the time, but other vendors that I'd like to dig deeper and find out what they actually do and how they can help me.
How about you, Amy? How's your conference going?
Oh, it's been great. Really enjoyed the opportunity to get to see a ton of past colleagues, get to spend time with my local HFMA chapter for those of us that came out here, and be able to connect with our customers and clients like Heather and be able to, spend some time with them as well.
Let's talk change management for a second. I think it's something everybody talks about. It's hard to do well. So why is it so important?
Change management in healthcare particularly is critical. We are an ever-changing industry and environment, and so there's a lot of potential for misses on how we handle updates and changes, as well as, I think it's important to understand change management applies to everything across the board. Any kind of change that we implement, not just big system implementations or implementing automation or something like that. So it's just critical to bring your people along with you and adapt as you're making changes that are critical for your organization.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. I think that we have to remember that there's real people involved in all of these situations, and they take all this change personally. They always want to know how it affects them. And if we don't do a good job of change management, we have some dissension among the ranks, and that's not at all what we want. Usually we're trying to help them. So it's really imperative to get down and talk to the staff level and have them understand what's going on.
Yeah, but that's easier said than done. And you would probably know better than anybody, Heather. So what do you think is a piece of advice that executives really should have in order to do this successfully? What are they not doing that they need to be doing?
Frontline staff, you have to be out there visible as a leader, meeting with the frontline staff and asking them what their pain points are and trying to help them solve them. And if it's something like automation that helps solve it, great. But you need me as the executive to reassure them that, hey, your job's not going to go away because of this. This is to help you. And that's something I have to really hammer home with folks.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would say maybe two things. One would be start change management as early as possible. Sometimes you think it's something that's paired with the execution, and it's actually paired with the infancy of an idea of a change. I think we need to automate something, or we need to implement something for this reason. Change management starts there. And I think that piece is often missed. The other piece I think is critical is making sure that you're bringing your people along with you. To Heather's point, like that communication and transparency is often underestimated. A lot of times the change itself and the impact of that change is underestimated because it might feel small to an executive or like a no-brainer, but that is significantly underestimating the end impact and what your staff are feeling from that. They want to be included, they want to be involved, they want to understand what's going on.
You mentioned automation a minute ago, and your two organizations have worked together on automating the revenue cycle. So what's one strategy that's really worked well for you?
Well, the best thing about AKASA for me as an executive was that they listened to my pain points. So in digging down in the revenue cycle, there's all sorts of things you can automate, literally thousands of things. But there was one particular pain point that my staff had more than anything, which was literally they were clicking into queues all day long. And that is a monotonous, boring job. I understand that. And I'm thinking much bigger picture when we originally started talking to them. But the staff was like, if you could just do this one thing, I could do so much more and really feel more fulfilled about my job. So they've been able to help with that. And as we've continued down the automation path, there's even more we can do.
Yeah, I think our partnership with Penn Highlands has been great. Just working with Heather specifically, it's very helpful to have an executive that can help move things forward and can kind of champion the cause and involve her teams and her staff to make sure that they are all on board. At the end of the day, the vendor and the product is often only as good as like the people you're able to work with and like your ability to kind of help impact that change within their organization. So they've been a really great partner in that way.
It's funny, Heather, you said earlier in this interview that you really need to listen to your people and listen to their pain points. And then you came back and that was the first thing you said about your relationship with AKASA. Right. So I think that really speaks to the importance of just listening.
Absolutely. And it goes back to what I initially said. This is people's lives. They're very worried about their jobs and their security. So if they feel good that you're helping a pain point instead of trying to take things away from them, it helps the whole process go much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining me today and sharing these insights.
Yeah, you're welcome.